If you're looking for the best guitar Capo, here's a list you must see. We made this list based on our personal preference and sorted it based on their features, prices, quality, durability, and reputation of the manufacturers and customer feedback. Also, we've included options for every type of customer. So let's get started. At the first position of our list, we have G7th Performance 3ART cap. You can buy a Capo for less than $10, so what's G7th's big idea charging just shy of $55? Can it really be worth the outlay? Well, the G7th Performance 3ART features the company's adaptive radius technology, a system within the top bar which adjusts the curvature of your guitar's fretboard. The benefit? In theory, there should be no buzzing strings at the capoed fret as the device makes even contact with all 6 strings. In turn, that gives the best possible tuning stability too. Coupled with rock-solid build, comfortable one-handed usability, and actually being not quite the priciest offering here, the G7th is worth consideration for any guitarist who demands high performance from their Capos. Moving on to the next at number 2 with Shubb Cone Steel String Capo. With the standard C series of Capos, Shubb have integrated many features previously only available in the S model. Deluxe spec at standard price, then bargain. A Capo of svelte design, its diminutive frame shouldn't inhibit your playing around the clamped fret either. Simply flip the lever to lock the Capo in place or remove it, after you've adjusted the screw tensioner for optimal pressure, that is. Sure, it's barely a 20-second task, but if you regularly move your Capo around the fretboard or to a second guitar, the speed of a quick-release Capo may be preferable. Still, it's a minor gripe. This is a classic design, a well-built industry standard that should give years of reliable use. Buy with confidence. The number 3 position is held by Ernie Ball Axis Capo. Ernie Ball's tasty-looking Axis Capo sure has curb appeal, but its talents on purely skin deep. Its main strength is easy, one-handed operation. Need to move your Capo mid-song? No problem. Just grab the axis and move it. The springs deal with the tensioning for you. As long as you're careful not to bend the strings in the process, Capos don't come easier to use than this. And there's no need to worry about the curvature of your guitar's fretboard either. The axis has 2 rubber-padded arms, one for flat fretboards and one for radiused. Just flip the Capo around to suit your board. The arms can get in the way a little, but generally, the ergonomics are pretty good, so we're not complaining. Next at number 4 we have Dunlop Trigger Capo. Dunlop's Trigger Capo has been around a while. Some would say it's another of those industry standards. Well, in 2020, it has a natural competitor in the Ernie Ball Axis model, both being spring-loaded quick-release designs. Like the Axis, you can easily change key with just a squeeze of the trigger's spring-loaded arms. Easy. However, despite the trigger's reassuringly sturdy build, sure to offer steady intonation in use, the Axis has it licked for both price and flexibility. There's nothing to dislike here though. It's a great Capo with proven longevity. If you want one, you can be sure the trigger will serve you well. The number 5 position is held by Planet Wave's D'Addario NS Capo Pro. Both lightweight and slimline, this Capo from D'Addario is designed to have as little negative impact on your playing as possible. Minimal mass means the NS Pro doesn't weigh your guitar's neck down, a potential concern when capoing at the 1st or 2nd fret, and its diminutive stature makes for easy fretting beside the Capo. This model is for guitars with radiused fretboards. That means you'll need another Capo for classical guitar or generally flatter radiused instruments, which, to be fair, D'Addario do offer. Just be aware this isn't a one-size-fits-all Capo. Need to save your dollars. Consider D'Addario's NS Lite model instead. It's plastic, admittedly, but high-strength molded ABS, so it should bear the rigors of many years of use. The number 6 position is dominated by Thalia Capos 200 series. Thalia claim to have solved the traditional Capos tuning problems by matching their device's fret pads to your guitar's fretboard radius, thus requiring less pressure on the strings. 14 tuning kits are included, pads for 7 radiuses in both standard and high-tension form for 12-string guitars amongst others. Simply slot in the tuning kit that matches your guitar's fretboard radius. It's a premium Capo that does its job well. We prefer the adjustable tension of the G7th. You need a bit of strength to click the Thalia into place. And, of course, the premium price represents quite an investment, so we'd recommend keeping a budget Capo around too. You do not want to lose your $75 Thalia at a gig. Moving on to the next at number 7 with Paige Original 6-string Acoustic Capo. We just had to include a wraparound in our list, and the Paige is a worthy contender for your cash. A tension screw sits at the middle of the back of the neck, pulling on the Capo's front arm with even pressure across the fretboard. It's a design which largely minimizes sideways string pull, so expect steady tuning. A version for electric guitar includes thicker rubber to allow for easier string bends and to accommodate all but the most curvaceous of fretboard radiuses. A wider variant is available too, an important concern with wraparounds. Make sure to measure your guitar neck to ensure it'll fit the Paige's 2.62-inch width or 2.187 for the wide model before buying. The number 8 position is held by Guitto GGC-02 Revolver Capo. So, who knew Capos could include features beyond clamping strings against a guitar's fretboard? Those cool cats at Joyo's new accessories brand Guitto, that's who. In addition to its spring-loaded, screw-adjustable clamp, this budget offering from the Chinese company offers 2 genuinely useful extras. First, there's a slot to hold a spare pick, a nice touch. And second, there's a bridge pin puller to help you quickly make string changes on your acoustic. With its vacuum cast, electroplated zinc alloy build, this should be a good quality Capo too. And even if you're not a regular Capo user, at this price it'd still be worth keeping 1 or 2 in your jig bag for those impromptu jams. Next at number 9 we have Creative Tuning's Universal SpiderCapo Standard. A creative take on a humble device, the SpiderCapo allows you to clamp each string individually, in turn offering up a world of alternate tunings, many that you might not have otherwise tried. All without actually retuning a string. You could, for instance, place a SpiderCapo at 2nd position, clamp the fretted strings of an opener chord and leave the others open, that's opener tuning. You can only Capo 1 fret however, so more complex chordal tunings are not an option. The SpiderCapo is suitable for any fretboard radius, but you'll be adjusting pressure on each individual string, potentially a slow process. Also, unclamped strings can be fretted at the capoed position, which is a weird quirk. Above or below the capo is all gravy though. Still, if a capo can fuel new creative ideas, that alone makes it worth the price of entry. It'll likely suit technically adept acoustic fingerstylists, but we'd recommend it for any player seeking fresh inspiration. Finally, the number 10 position is dominated by Kyser Pro /M 6-string guitar capo. Spoiler alert! There are better quality capos elsewhere in this list. So why include Kyser's budget offering amongst our best capo selection, you ask? Well, this is the cheapest model on our list. If you want to chuck it in your jig bag and forget about it capo, it's ideal. Buy 2 or 3 and rest assured you'll never be without. Yes, it's somewhat utilitarian, but it'll do its job way better than any elasticated wraparound type for just a teensy bit more of your hard-earned. If we have a gripe, it's the screw tensioner, which you have to adjust manually every time you move the Pro/M. It's a bit of a yawn, but at this price we're really not complaining. That's all for today. We upload music product review videos every single day. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for the upcoming video notification.